is chaos. Alright, I'm gonna fucking put this here. Let's fucking talk philosophy.
There is no direction.
Destiny and consciousness.
Okay, let's tackle them one at a time.
Right.
First, let's tackle consciousness. I feel like I want to tackle consciousness before destiny, even though you listed it second. Let's do consciousness first. What is your question on that?
Alright, so, regarding consciousness, do you think... So, when... I'm going to get into this shit now.
Get in. Yeah, no, I'm ready.
When a person dies, we agree, if we're a materialist,
your consciousness
that...
stops to exist.
Hold on. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So, I like to think... Before we get to consciousness, we all agree, since you're atheist too, right? Or what are you?
Agnostic.
Oh, agnostic. Well, same thing.
Not the same thing.
Alright, let's not fucking go that far
There's
out.
actually
Let's not
degrees
fight
of
that
atheism.
shit. Let's not fight that shit.
There's even whole gatekeeping in that
Alright,
area
anyway,
too.
let's
go.
Alright.
Okay, we'll stick to
Alright, we'll just take this and we'll
make
debate
it as basic as simple as
In other words,
possible.
we don't have to stick... None of us here have to stick to any dogmas about this.
Exactly.
Okay.
None of us
So,
are like supremely Christian or anything
we
like that.
are we all kind of materialists here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I am. I love material things.
I think for
They
the
make
most
me feel
part,
good.
I'm a material. Well, I don't mean that materialism. I mean materialist as in we
Oh,
believe
as in,
that
like,
you
things
don't
that
believe in
exist
supernatural
in.
shit. I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm
You know, I don't know if
probably-
I'm materialist.
I'm
or
wrong
not.
here. Just define it for me real quick.
Materialism basically is what you said, where you earlier, where you like there is no supernatural realms, there is no God, there is no.
So it's belief in the material things in life.
Yes, in other words, you don't
things
believe spirit
that are
shit.
here and that we can touch, see, feel,
Yes.
experience.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we
Well, then,
agree that when we die, the body decays, and the personality, memories, all part of your mind decays and becomes...
It's gone forever.
But then we have something left over. We have consciousness. Because consciousness
Why
is...
is consciousness
I'll
separate from
explain
the
in a
brain?
minute.
I don't think
No,
that.
I know consciousness is a unique thing.
It's
because
just a
if you
deeper
think...
part of the
hold
brain.
on.
It's a
Maybe,
brain
yes,
it's a brain on a different dimension of thinking.
Yes, but it's a certain... I feel like you... If you
Where
were...
does your consciousness go then? What are you saying?
That's what I'm saying. I
But
don't
there
know.
is none.
Where
I
did
don't
it come
believe
from in
there's
the first
something
place,
separate.
though?
I don't think it's separate.
But I'm not
your
saying it's
consciousness
necessarily
is
separate.
it's your brain.
But why do I see things like, we all...
Okay, can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
This is the most supernatural thing that I believe in.
Yeah.
Like, that I really, really, really believe in, and I firmly, really believe this. I believe in... Okay, well, you've heard of Carl Jung.
Yeah,
Freud.
The archetypes and all
Yeah,
that shit.
right. Yeah, the
Yeah,
collective unconscious.
And then
I believe that there is a
Joseph
collective
Campbell.
unconscious between humans, and that's why you feel those things, like supreme empathy for other people.
Yeah.
Not just individualism, but also patriotism seems to come from that.
The values that were necessary
Tribalism
for the
just
formation of society.
And I believe that it can all eventually be explained and will be explained by DNA. Absolutely. Be explained through DNA.
Right, think about
the
consciousness.
collective unconscious is somehow a memory stamped into our DNA.
But we all agree, like, here's the thing about consciousness.
And that's the most supernatural thing I believe in. But it's only supernatural because it still hasn't been explained by science. However, I fully
Cartesian
believe
philosophy.
that it will be explained by science.
Rene Descartes, Cartesian philosophy. Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. But, hold on, that's the base. That's the only thing we can say is because I know... It's like
that
the doubt.
exist,
yes,
then I must
but
exist.
here's the thing. But let's branch it out. Solipsism. Are you guys familiar
I've read
with
about it,
solipsism?
but no.
So, well, I like to use it metaphorically,
not
but
anymore.
for the purposes of this debate, we have to use it literally. I am the only person that I know I'm having conscious thoughts. Like, I can, I'm seeing things from my point of view, out of my eyes.
No one else
but,
sees.
But you believe that you're conscious. You have a conscious. You're seeing things from out of your eyes. But I'm not seeing the same thing you're seeing. So why... But
it's even weirder when you think about how different species and different things of animals can see things that are different. That means our reality isn't even a reality. They literally see things differently than us.
Yes, but if we're agreeing, like a dualist would say that
there's always dualism is there's always
mind body.
under.
But they would say the body decays, but my personality could reincarnate. Blah blah blah. I could reincarnate as somebody, right? But that would be a spiritual thing. And also it would say, well, the mind carries on certain traits in the soul. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm not necessarily saying that there's any soul. But I do believe if your consciousness can arise just in a random body. If you... I don't want to... I'm good.
You think your consciousness can travel from one body to another?
Here, hold on. I'm going to say this.
You're saying that it may be possible.
I want... Sort of, in a sense.
Hold on, Michael. I'm going to talk
Go ahead.
tell you one thing that I've actually had happen: outer body experience. That shit's real.
I want to talk about the weird
100%.
supernatural things that I once believed happened to me truly, but now I believe were just a trick. of
Just
the
like
mind.
if you see
got
something
some
in
really
your
weird,
dream
deep,
and then
and
it
some
happens
weird
in the
things.
future, deja vu. And you're like, what the fuck?
For real.
I saw this before.
There's another, the
If I
corollary.
ever told you the truth about the weird things that I did, you would probably think differently.
Just like
of
me, myself, I can actually see spirits and ghosts. Like,
I like that we're trolling off on different things too. But speaking of deja vu, there's the corollary. Have you guys
Yeah.
heard of jamais vu?
sounds a little
Would that be
familiar.
future sense?
No. So deja
No.
vu is you you feel like you've seen it before. Something
Right.
new. Jamais vu is
Basically.
when you experience something you've always experienced, but it feels brand new. I get that
I
all the
felt
time.
that, like,
So
a
something
few
that
times
you
before.
what is that like
I've-
having sex for like
You
the
could do
50th
that,
time?
and then you're like, for
but it's
me,
like somehow different.
I'll
How
explain
do you
how
like
I.
Well, you're never
Right.
going to experience the exact same thing.
Yes,
more
but
than
something
once.
feels off. Like you're
There's
like, I
something.
should be more in tune with this experience, but I feel alienated. That's how I take it as. Like I'll be
I know
doing
what
something,
you
I'll be like,
mean,
something's
yeah.
not. I'm not connecting with this
Like
experience.
cooking dinner.
Sure,
Like something
It could
really
be
common.
anything.
I
you
just
you
need, I
lose
just need more
track of things.
context for like in what way this would happen.
To me, it's like
in
so
what way does it happen to you?
deja
Yeah.
vu is like it's your experience thing
Well,
as
I
a
know
memory.
what deja vu, yeah.
But for this, it's almost like your consciousness doesn't line up. Like usually when you're conscious, you have.
in what
I don't-
situations has it happened to you though? Is what I'm saying.
Well, sometimes social situations, not like right here because I've been a little bit drunk, so it's like I'm jiving a
Okay,
little bit
but
better.
just interesting.
But sometimes, like if I have a panic attack or something, it'll be like this whole everything feels different. Just like everything feels like dark. There's like this dark, I get like this tunnel vision kind of a thing going on. But it's not just that. It's just like if I
But
feel.
where is the part where you've already been through it before?
No, that's deja vu. Or wait, jamais vu. Sorry, jamais vu is it could be like a everyday experience, just an everyday thing. You're doing it.
So
You
like
do it
hanging
every
out
day.
with people is something that you've
Yeah.
done a lot, but this one time you have a panic attack.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
like-
like, this is something that I've done 100 times before. However, right now I'm
But it's like
disassociated.
yeah, let's just say you live this, you have the same routine for every day, and all of a sudden you're doing the same thing, but something just feels off. Like it's like I'm not doing things the right way. You know what I mean? That's how it
Yeah,
is for
okay, I
me.
get
So I don't
that.
know if that's how other people
It's called
experience jamais vu.
jamais
Jamais
vu?
vu. Jamais. vu.
Jamais
Yeah,
vu?
it's the
Okay.
inverse
I need
of,
goldfish. You keep monologuing.
Yes. I will talk to
This
the.
shit is
I will
getting
be right back
good.
there.
Hell yeah! Don't take long. We're fucking debating shit.
I'm listening, bro. I'm interested. I love talking about
Yeah,
shit
this is
like
fun
this.
shit. So anyway, I was going to talk about consciousness because she keeps on interrupting my consciousness talk.
Man, this
That-
shit, my mind's like I got so many questions.
Yeah.
Shit talk me.
I didn't do it. It was him. He did
It's
it.
like,
Were you shit talking? Who was
No.
shit talking me?
I'm
this
just
shit
kidding. I'm just
getting
kidding.
good.
That is totally you shit
I
talking.
wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know.
Look, bitch.
So imagine that goldfish is conscious in there. So by eating the delicious goldfish.
Well, I just
the-
don't think consciousness is separate from the brain.
You're right, but it might. But who cares?
Give me 2 hands, baby.
I don't know if it matters. You know.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I
okay, that's
I'm
good.
still.
Yes.
I just don't want. Fine here.
Yeah.
Just there. I'm good. Okay, so now,
No, no.
now we're fucking conversing.
No,
Oh,
listen.
you nice goldfish.
Goldfish and conversation.
So,
I used to put hot sauce
Consciousness.
in these.
but what? All right, but here's the thing about consciousness. Like, if it could pass on, in a sense. No, I don't want to say. I don't know the best
if
word
it
to put
passes
it.
on through anything, it
But
goes
look,
through the
it
DNA.
wouldn't. Let's just say, I don't think.
Why
the
would you not
personality-
think
just
that
hold on.
an
There's something-
experience through your life would not affect your DNA? That's the whole thing between nature versus nurture,
Yes.
in my opinion. Is that literally
Fucking crazy.
your nature can define you to be something, but your nurture can change the pattern of your nature. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
what
are
I'm
the-
saying is like your life experience can change your DNA and make you.
But if our person,
So why wouldn't consciousness, which is
the body would break down, but dualists wouldn't agree that the personality goes away. I would say if consciousness does pass on, we'd be a completely new person, no personality, no memories would pass over, blah, blah, blah. I want to get that out of the way. So,
Okay.
consciousness, think about it.
I know
How
what
many
that's
billions of
crazy.
years have
then
gone
what's
by?
the point of it?
No, just listen.
Why would it
How many
happen?
billions of years have passed by? We are all conscious in this blip of a moment. We're on
absolutely a blip.
eternal fucking corridors of darkness on either side. We're right here in this
The Big Bang and the big collapse that's going to happen.
No, but I'm not even talking about that. Maybe. But,
Or the end of human civilization.
yeah, I mean, who knows? But it almost feels like, could we be unconscious forever? We would, all, shit. All it would take would be one brief moment to
Happen,
our
right?
consciousness to
Just like that.
reappear. Yeah, but there would be no person behind it. You would not know. So, let's go to, I know it's going to sound like a fucking non sequitur, but let's talk about teleportation. No, I'm serious.
No,
This is gonna
no,
swear.
I
no.
want more than anything to be able to teleport so that I can see
Hold
anyone
on.
that I
No,
want.
no,
at any
no.
Let's
point
talk
in
about
time.
you know where I'm going with this?
I
Look,
don't know.
no, they've
I don't-
actually
but I would
been
totally vote for
working on
teleportation
shit like
being a
that,
thing.
teleporting shit.
Nice.
They've been doing that.
But
Our
let's talk-
government and our military.
There was a tie
It's a new
between
thing.
They
conscious.
had that technology.
There was a
We
tie
do.
between consciousness and teleportation. If you think about it. All right.
I
So,
mean, your consciousness is
you
going
think
from one dead decaying
if you're
body
a
into
pure
a new one.
materialist and you
Does it
believe,
go into a newborn baby every time? How
Hold
does it
on.
always know
There
to
we
go
go.
into a newborn baby, or does it go into a
Because
no,
you
listen,
see-
listen. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Mm.
Think about consciousness
Go ahead.
or teleportation. How would teleportation work? It would break down everything you are and create a carbon copy of you somewhere else. Sorry. I'm like that one guy.
Okay, pause that.
But you know what I'm
So
talking about?
I see what you mean, but also how people talk about past lives and who you were before then.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't
Like-
count in my system.
Oh well, for me, I kind of see it as that too. Like
Yeah.
when you die, your conscience goes to some new soul,
Yeah.
or some new
I can see it
form
like
of
that.
human.
Because here's my thing. Before
Go
we
ahead.
were alive, no, listen to this. So we're conscious now, right? We're aware of the surroundings. Like we're,
Everything.
you know what I mean, though. Like
Yeah, I get what
Alright,
you
so-
mean.
before we were alive, we were basically dead because our consciousness did not exist.
I mean, yeah.
No, but then what if we're?
There is nothing.
No,
it's not
listen.
a consciousness. You're just a
No,
brain. There's
no,
nothing
no.
special about it. You're
Alright.
all just brains.
Exactly, and brains can come back.
Controlling
different
our
brains.
bodies.
Are you really gonna eat a goldfish? That was
No,
just
I'm
a
just
joke.
saying.
You're really
Think
gonna
about
eat it.
no, but just think about this because before. All right, so when we die, it's the same consciousness as before we were born. Am I wrong?
It's non-consciousness.
But they say, what do they say? What do you, what, like, it's like, oh, I'm worried about dying. And some atheists will be like, well, imagine how you felt before you were born. That's what they say, right? You didn't care about before you were born. But it is the same thing. It's the same exact state. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're the same states. But
we
it's
don't
a
call it that.
non-conscious state.
We don't call it that. Just
But it's a
matter-
non-conscious state. Consciousness
Exactly.
only exists through a living
Exactly.
brain.
So
Once your brain is dead, there is nothing else.
I agree, but you're not listening to my point about consciousness. Just
Then
focus
what the
on
fuck?
don't
How is
focus
your
on the brain.
consciousness going
Don't
somewhere
focus on
else?
the brain.
How
No,
would I not? Because
Listen,
that's
where
where
did it get?
originates.
How did it get there in the first place?
Through life and experience. It
Yes,
just
but
happens.
no, I'm saying, but why do you see things? Because if you have a robot, it's also perceiving things.
Your
but we
genetics
don't-
make
we
your
don't believe
brain
in
a
consciousness.
certain way, and then what you
The spark of
experience,
consciousness.
and then what you experience makes your brain a different way.
But why do I see it through only my eyes, nobody else's eyes? Do you know what I mean?
Because you can't.
But-
See,
But
I be
you
feeling
know what I'm
like
saying.
that.
So the brain.
No, I know
listen.
what he means. That's
Exactly.
just real.
I don't
Yeah.
understand what you mean. I don't expect to see life through it. I mean, I understand the frustration,
No,
but why would I be
You don't
able
see
to
that person's
life?
perspective at all.
I'm
But
saying.
why would you? You're not that person.
Yeah,
But I'm saying before.
it makes
We
you
feel
wonder
I mean, that's what
though.
empathy is.
Yes.
Empathy is feeling
So,
that way for that person going through
Let's
what they're
say-
going through, even
what
though
is
you're
the-
not.
let's say the state of death. Let's just describe it as X.
It's
State X.
non-consciousness.
Yes, non-consciousness is X, right?
Okay.
So, Y is consciousness. Are you saying, can you go from X to Y?
That's not math. That's just
It
gibberish.
is, but it's philosophy. Can you go from a state of unconsciousness, X, to a state
You'd
of
go
consciousness?
to X to Y to X again, is what you're proposing. Honestly.
I'm saying if you can go from X to Y once, you can go from X to Y twice.
But it's not X equals Y. It's X.
No, it is,
It's
but it's the next
X
step.
plus birth plus this and experience becomes Y.
Yeah, but
and
those
then,
are,
and
I'm
then
not
Y
saying memories.
minus all, and then it's Y
excuse me.
minus all things that can make it capable of
I'm-
living become X again.
Yeah, but I'm
it's
a-
not so
yeah.
simple as X equals Y equals X. It's
I'm-
X
I'm
plus all
saying
these things equals
all
Y,
those
and then
things
Y
that
minus all these
accumulate-
things equals X again.
I'm saying consciousness is like the cool root.
it's a
of
balanced
the system.
equation, though, if you think about it the way that I just
Well,
explained.
you're saying,
it.
but you're saying it goes from X to Y back to X, and they can't go back again. You're saying there's only one Y state, and you hit X twice. You're on 2, chasms of darkness, and you just have this brief
Yeah,
period of light.
you weren't existing, you live, and then you don't exist anymore.
Yes, that body, that personality, those memories.
They're gone.
Those
you don't
are
matter.
gone.
You don't fucking matter. No one fucking matters.
All right, so we agree that the body, the personality, memory, all those are gone. We all agree on that.
Okay.
But the disagreement we're having is this very special trait of consciousness.
But what are you
It's
defining consciousness
I don't know.
as?
No one knows.
I
right?
do.
No,
It's
you
the
don't.
brain.
Yes, it's a spark in the brain, but that doesn't explain why
It's like a
you see
fucking
through
loop.
your own eyes. I see through my own eyes. He sees through his own eyes, and everybody sees through.
Because
their
we're all
own
people
eyes.
born in this body. I'm in my body. You're in his body. Your
Yes.
body. He's in his body.
I'm in his body. No.
Ah.
Let's get kinky. Anyway.
But no, like really, it's just that way because we are confined to all of our own personal prisons. That's what being
My body
alive
is a cage.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, your body is a cage between non-consciousness and non-consciousness.
But I'm just saying, my consciousness can arise once, I don't understand why I couldn't see through another body's eyes another time. Because it has to arise once.
The same person can exist twice because no one
But
will
it's
ever
not
go
the same
through the
person.
exact same thing twice.
This is why we didn't. All right, so this is why I brought up teleportation. So I would never teleport if it was possible. Do you know why?
Because your guts migrating and cellularly.
No. Even if they could recreate me perfectly,
Well, I sit here
I would not
meditate.
teleport because I feel it would kill my consciousness, and there would be a new body look just like mine with somebody else's consciousness inside.
No,
of
the
it.
whole point is you move the whole body and
So
everything
like
with
a
it.
parallel universe.
Yes, but let's say a teleportation failed, but just on one end. It recreated me somewhere else. I'm gonna use my fingers now. I'm gonna point.
Like your
So
consciousness.
I'm here, and
Yeah.
it's now normally it's supposed to break down my atoms and recreate them somewhere else. It
Yes.
fails on one thing. It recreates my atoms, but forgets to destroy my initial body. So what happens to the other
Well,
body?
you have two of
It
you?
goes to
Exactly,
another-
and I'm not going to be conscious in two bodies,
Damn.
right? So therefore, there's two consciousnesses, and therefore, if it would have destroyed my first body, let's say it eventually realizes I have two bodies, it goes, "Oh shit, we got to kill the original." Boom! I'm unconscious because I'm dead.
So the second
That's
version
great.
of you
Yeah.
Wow.
would have a consciousness, but only because it has prefabricated memories from your body
But
that
see,
make
you
it have
That's
a
correct.
Talk about
consciousness.
So-
alternate universes.
If it was cloned without your memories and
Yes.
without your experiences, it wouldn't. I don't
But
think have a
think-
consciousness until it became.
It's
one.
Let's
somebody
imagine
else.
that it could recreate everything. It's like I'm going to recreate all of your materialism, as in everything exists in the world. It's going to recreate me down perfectly, a perfect representation, a perfect exact clone of me. From my memories, exact state of time, personality, everything about my brain.
Then
is
they
a
would
carbon
be exactly
copy.
like you until the moment
Except-
that they were born,
and then they would have a different
They would
consciousness,
be
but
exactly
nothing else.
different because they would immediately experience
They would have
things
new
differently
experiences,
than you.
correct. But immediately, the thing that would separate us I would still not see out of that clone's eyes. I would only see through my eyes.
Well, yeah, because they're in a different body.
Exactly.
That's how brains work.
Exactly.
That's why there's
But-
nothing
Think about
special.
the
That's why there's
twins.
no
No,
special
but
connection.
you're saying-
because
No, hold
each
on.
brain is in
But
its
you're
own
saying
body.
if consciousness
Like they say
only
about twins, though, the twin telepathy thing. That's real too.
It
yeah.
has a twin consciousness,
I've
but only
seen that.
because it has the exact same things as you. As soon as that brain, it's all in the brain.
Yeah.
Have you
It's
ever-
all. It's
you
all.
met
It's all
twins?
downloaded to the brain.
Man,
I've-
meet some twins. You'll think different. It's just their
That's my
minds
kink,
work
no?
together. It's fucking. Oh my god. It's fucking.
That's a little
crazy,
weird,
though.
but they're a
No.
special case because their DNA is the same.
Yeah, I mean
So-
they don't see through each other's eyes, obviously,
No.
but like.
So it makes up for like even nature versus nurture, and that's why twins is like a
That
good
twins
argument.
are like-
Identical
it's
twins
fucking
are a good
crazy.
argument for nature as opposed to nurture because they always seem to have like really weird similarities, even if they like
Yeah.
grew up apart. I'm like, yeah, that seems like an anomaly, but it's not. It's just like fucking people are people. When you have the same DNA, like, yeah, you're not always gonna end up the exact same, but the stories always highlight their similarities. How many differences do you think those people have, even despite those weird similarities? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. DNA might predisposition you to marry a firefighter because you like big hunky guys.
Yeah, they've done studies about like twins separated at birth and shit like that. I don't remember the
Well,
exact
one of them,
details,
they
though.
both married firefighters. That's why I mentioned
yeah,
those,
yeah.
so anecdote.
I wonder if those are specific cases or there's a probability or. Anyway. if you guys want to jump to something, since we're also brought up, we talked about consciousness a little
I
bit.
need a drink so I can have a cigarette, but I don't want to get it. I think you should get it for me.
Yes. What am I getting?
No.
All right.
There's
When
still
I get
Sprite.
back,
Hold
we'll talk
on,
about Destiny.
There's still Sprite in this, so I have to drink it first.
All right,
so.
you drink that. All right. Let's wait. Wait. What am I grabbing again?
Sorry.
On the first
Yes.
shelf, I want Diet Coke.
Diets.
Come here.
You
Here go my
entertain
Destiny 2 video.
I'm sorry, I couldn't breathe. I got you.
Turn this bitch up.
Like your videos and like this is you playing?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I clipped it, shared it on Facebook a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
This is me. That's me playing Destiny 2.
Oh, pro. You got a YouTube and all that?
Nah, I just shared it off my PlayStation on my Facebook.
Pro.
It's fucking awesome.
All right. Go ahead. So, let's talk about Destiny.
Hold on,
Not the
right.
video game Destiny, goddamn. I mean, like actual fucking Destiny, man. Anyway. So, you said you don't believe in any
Well,
form
now
of
you have to
Destiny.
take my Coke back because I don't want it to get warm.
Fine. So, should we wait till I take the Coke back then?
Probably. It's your fault though. I didn't ask for that.
I didn't know what was
I was gonna give you
Okay.
the easiest way to do it, and you chose.
See, she
to.
going back in
I like to
there.
make things
Can you
complicated.
grab the lime?
Oh,
No,
yeah, I
you,
get it,
no,
I get it.
no, no, no.
Well,
I got
still
this.
drinking.
Just,
Not this.
just grab the lime,
Yeah, hold on.
please, and thank you.
Yummy delicious.
Oh my god.
All right.
About that time. Let's get to it.
For the purposes of this audio. Wait.
Well, yeah. What did you ask me?
No. Miss Ashley Miller. And
I am Miss Miller.
Yes,
Dr.
Miss
Beakus
Miller.
just asked.
Dr.
so,
Miller.
what is your take on Destiny?
It doesn't exist. There's no such thing because there's nothing to direct it.
I agree, because we're talking about karma. I wouldn't want to talk
Yeah.
about that either. But here's my thing on Destiny. I don't believe in Destiny as in planned out.
I also don't believe in free will, so I guess
there
everything
we go.
is
Okay,
destiny.
we're determinists.
So I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like we're determinists.
I guess, yeah, because I don't feel like
Yeah.
destiny's a thing because I don't feel like anything's directed.
Yes.
Because there's nothing
Every-
to direct it.
I-
But I also feel like the things that you experience, the things that you go through, and what makes you a person
Yeah.
gives you no choice in any situation. Any other person in the same exact situation would have made like kind of the same.
Yes, I
choice.
agree. Based on your personality, blah blah blah, which are all like it's like dominoes falling, collapsing. You're inevitable. It's almost like to me, life
That's why
doesn't
you're like
play
dark.
out.
It's all about the inevitability of like you can't
It's all
change.
playing out like a movie.
Because it's time travel.
Yeah,
It's all about the
it's all-
inevitability of like you can't.
the big bed. I'll sleep on the small.
All right. Well, yeah, whatever.
You want to sleep.
Oh, you passed out? You want to stay?
right now, no.
Okay, I was making sure. So,
We ain't done with this conversation.
hell yeah, we're gonna continue this debate
you
about
mean?
philosophy. Wait, all right. So we were talking about determinism. Go down. Shit. Now I lost my train of thoughts regarding. All right. So we had determinism.
Okay, you can do it because you're gonna be gone. I won't tell him that you were the one that packed all the bowls until you're not here anymore. Okay.
No.
Do you ever
I'm
think
not.
you can use it?
Pack a
'Cause
bowl.
they say we all need the illusion of free will to operate. I agree with that to a certain extent, but there is some practicality in being a determinist. As in, I really don't. Every once in a while, I'll feel regret, but I don't really philosophically. If I think about it, I'm like, I don't really have any regrets because I.
Yeah, I
couldn't
know,
have acted
me too.
differently
Because
than I did.
I couldn't have. In the moment that I chose what I chose,
It was there. I
It
think
was-
here's
Are we
my.
being too loud? He thinks we're being too loud.
Yeah, this is for the purposes. No, but if I don't know how hard he's passed out.
We're not. Well, he's
Is he
gonna.
like sleeping?
He sleeps on his. Okay, so he's deaf in one ear. So he sleeps on his good ear,
Ah,
so
yeah,
that everything's
yeah.
blocked
See?
out usually.
It's good to be deaf. Alright, so anyway. Oh shit. Now I lost my goddamn train of thought again. Alright, wait, where were we at? Free will. Oh, yes,
Determinism.
not having regrets. Because I feel like you're all. Here's my thing about this.
And also, if I hadn't have done, every time I think about like if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't done that, how my life would be better. I think, well, wouldn't have met a kid, or I wouldn't have met this person that was a good friend to me, or I wouldn't have met this
And
person.
that would have
that
never changed. There's
and
no.
like, yeah,
alternate-
maybe I would have met other
so-
people, but like it wouldn't have been the same, and like
Dude,
I wouldn't give up
dude.
those people willingly, you know.
Yeah. Let's smoke if you want to smoke. So, I think
Yes.
here's how I think the brain works: is there is no free will, but your brain tries to make a construct of how things are going to play out, and it creates various constructs. So let's say you imagine yourself flying. Well, you automatically imagine your brain automatically realizes, well, I can't do that. But you can convince yourself that you can do things slightly that aren't possible, but they feel like they might be.
Like,
you know what I mean? In
like-
other words, there is no free will. There is no alternate options. But your brain will create fictional scenarios that seem like they could be real. So, for instance, I could imagine myself being like, I'm not going to go to Knoxville. I'm not going to go hang out with Doug tomorrow. Who knows what I'll actually do tomorrow. But I don't know. My brain makes a mental construct of what I might do, or what I might have been able to do, how things might have gone differently, but they were never going to go that way because the physics.
That's what I do every night
physics
when I
is
lay
not.
awake. Is I think about how my life could go differently tomorrow, knowing that it won't.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. It
'Cause I
only
know-
can
no,
do
I
what
feel
it does.
really like that makes me feel weird.
Do you
The
ever
way
think
just
about that?
explained this. I had never
Brain
thought about
creates
it in
mental
that way.
constructs.
Well, no, I
Of
have
what?
thought about it, but I'm not in that particular way.
Yeah.
And that's what I do when I lay awake at night and I make plans about how I'll be a better person tomorrow, knowing that it won't actually happen. It's like it's planning out a future that I know that won't exist.
Yes. Just think about like if you're watching a movie. You can imagine in your mind. I don't know how the movie's going to play out, but I can imagine.
I can
a few
guess that
scenarios
this and
in my
this might
head.
happen,
But
right?
it doesn't. It only does what the movie actually does. Now it may come kind of close to what you were thinking.
If you guessed right.
Yes.
But
But
you're not always going
it's-
to guess
yes,
right. And just
but
because
there's
you guessed
so
it
many-
doesn't mean it's
yeah.
going to come true.
But there was only one path for it to take, and it already had this. Like it was always going to play out like that.
I want to talk to you about Dark, and I want to tell you this deep,
Oh.
dark secret of it, but I don't because I want you to watch it.
If it's philosophical, go and bring it up.
It's not. Well,
Okay.
it is actually really cool. I can't stop. I can't get over. Okay.
I mean, you just talk about the philosophy behind it.
Oh, okay. I won't mention the character. So
Okay.
this one particular character
Yeah.
was raised by her grandfather, but he wasn't her biological grandfather.
Yeah.
She just called him her grandfather. He took her in. They were always quite foggy on like the details, and they didn't even reveal that it was even a thing until later on. Then it reveals that she doesn't know who her true parents are, or anything about them at all. So then she finds out that this guy is her father. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't give it too much about him. So, but he won't tell her who her mother is.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, it's all about time travel. So we see the future, the past. We see the 50s, we see the 80s, we see 2019, and we see 30 years after 2019, whatever year that would be. And we also see 2020 for, like, briefly, because that's the end of the world kind of thing. So
Makes sense.
you find out that her daughter is her mother.
Interesting.
The fuck?
So I keep thinking about time travel and how this guy, okay, let me tell you a little bit. He was born in the 20s, and he was a time traveler. So he shows up in the 80s, he shows up in the 2019s, he shows up in the future. He sleeps with her after 2019, and they have their baby after that. But like,
Holy shit.
her daughter is her mother, and I just can't, because if they didn't put the daughter where they had put her, then he wouldn't have met her, and they wouldn't have had a child.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Time
if he
travel
wouldn't have
never
had a
makes sense.
child, then they wouldn't have put her there. You know, it's just like this big
Yeah.
circular. Time travel
There's-
is the most brain warping
there's this-
fucking shit ever.
There's this
honestly.
game. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's very obscure.
What's it called?
Came out in 2001 on PS2. Shadow of Destiny. It also goes by Shadow of Memories. Have you guys ever heard of it? It's a really interesting game. You should look it up. So, the plot of the game is this character.
Shadow of Destiny.
Yes, you should check it out. It's really good. I love it. It's kind
My
of
legs
corny,
hurt, sorry.
funny, but it's amazing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, they have
I mean,
a good
corny,
Let's Play.
funny games are kind of nice.
Yes. So the plot of the game is you're killed immediately. Now you have to go back in time and solve your own murder, and this happens several times. Like this, every episode is you have to solve. Somebody kills you. You go back in time. You have to figure out how to change it and who's doing this. So I'm gonna try it without spoiling it. The only way the
It's hard
killer.
to do with dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
It's
my
hard
best.
with time
I'm
travel.
gonna.
because it's
It'll
spoiled,
keep it kind of
because it's all
vague.
connected.
So, what happens is it becomes a case where the only way your killer gets on a path to kill you is because you've gone back in time and interacted with this person.
yeah, it's
and
your
put them on a
fault.
path. Yes.
You try
so
to
it-
stop it, and so it makes it
Yeah,
happen.
so
That's
it would
always
never actually play out if time travel.
if you hadn't known
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
To try to stop it, it wouldn't have happened.
That's time travel plus to make almost no sense. The only way you could even try to justify them is if you say, well, they happen in alternate dimensions. You know, like it's a different time but alternate.
Oh, I
dimensions.
can't tell you.
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
tell you about things.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it makes me want to
I'll
tell
watch
you
it
things.
eventually.
It makes me want to What do you think? You have to watch it next year when the last season.
I shall. We can all hang out and watch it again.
It'll be so good.
Alright, does anybody have any other philosophical things? Did we go over?
I mean, you can bring up whatever you
We
want.
talked
Talk
about just
it.
about everything we could think of.
Does anybody
We
have
even
any-
talked on time travel.
We talk about morality and ethics and all that shit. I have to get on that wavelength now.
It's not relative, but there's nothing that actually defines it, so I don't know how I feel about it.
Are you familiar at all, even just modicum of knowledge of Sam Harris's kind of views about objective morality?
Mm.
Okay.
I know of some Harris.
Well, he does.
I couldn't define his.
He has
views
this
on
book called The
morality.
Moral Landscape, and he's like, there is some objectivity to morality. I think of I like to think of it like this: we don't necessarily have to believe in healthy people. Like we say, medical treatment is objective, right? That doesn't mean people necessarily want to be healthy. So morality can exist like that. You can be moral. You don't necessarily have to want to be moral. And you can still believe there's some objective values within a certain moral system. So, just like health, we define health as surviving longer, having, moving over a body, not laying in bed.
Let my weed burn.
Ooh,
Goes to my-
So, if that's the case, we can define what we want from morality. What is like the objective way to handle it?
Not hurting people.
Yes, but
While
I mean, it
also
becomes
not
complicated.
while also not injuring yourself. I feel like that's an important part of it. However, there are times that it is more moral to injure yourself to help someone else.
Yes. Well, there's a debate about that.
There
too.
is some subjectivity
There's
there,
some,
actually.
because
Not,
there's
it's not
debate.
objective.
Well, yeah, it depends if you set a certain moral rule, like like a rule. God damn it, rule set. Yeah, I have problems saying the rule. Anyway,
Rural?
yes,
Like
rule.
R-U-R-A-L?
R-U-L-A. For this
I feel
purposes.
bad, I'm
Yeah.
dyslexic.
Anyway, no, I have that problem anyway. But anyway, for the purpose of this, we're starting to set like that, and
Chill out. No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But there is, like you said, there's some, I guess you could say subjectivity for, in other words, should I favor my family over somebody else? Like, you would have to assume, like, instinctually, if you think of morality as an instinctual thing, you would have to say that somebody would save 10 people at the expense of letting 3 of their family members die would be kind of immoral. You know what I mean? Like, it would feel fucked up. You're like, I'm not going to trust this person. I wouldn't want to be part of this person's family. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, maybe somebody would judge them that harshly,
Well,
that
even our
quickly, but I would
evolution.
have to think about it for a minute.
all of our evolution is set up like that, a certain form of tribalism. We have to.
I
keep
try
up
to
the
really
form.
not do the tribalism thing.
But
though.
we're always going to do it to a certain extent.
I know, but like if you're conscious of it, it's so much easier to see when you're doing it and avoid it.
Well, it's easier to do it when there's people involved, but if you think tribalism, like, versus bacteria, we're not going to favor, the bacteria.
Humans
survive.
versus
Exactly.
other
There's
species.
always...
That's a tribalism of
Exactly.
something.
There's
Yeah,
always
okay,
some
I get
form
what
of
you're saying
tribalism.
there.
So just how far do we want to take it?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, how moral would he be? Oh, we got to keep these bacteria alive, because, there's more... I mean, I don't know, it gets complicated then, because then you don't have any...
But bacteria don't have
consciousness.
consciousness.
Exactly. Or do that. Maybe they're carrying our consciousness to a new body.
Oh my god.
Yeah, fucking going full Ouroboros on this motherfucker. Yeah, fucking it's cycling. All right. Anyway.
In cycling.
Yes, it cycles back into a new body, just like
Yeah,
consciousness.
I got you.
Anyway, so morality. Shit. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's different ways. There's like fucking trolley problem. The best solution to the trolley problem is
Oh, you mean which track do you choose?
let's say there's a fat person on fucking train tracks up above
A
the car
versus B. Just,
Yeah, so
it's a formula.
push the fat person in front of the car, kills the fat person. You've made a moral action, kill somebody at the expense. You're saving lives in a sense, but you're also choosing to kill somebody.
You're choosing which person deserves to live.
Yes.
Is what it's
Yes.
not. Yeah.
But you know what I do? Because, see, I wait till the cart runs over the people, then I push the fat person over because the world's overpopulated and I fuck.
Because
I'm
what?
just fucking around.
No, I didn't hear you. Because
I said,
what?
I wait till the cart runs over the people, then I push the fat person off the edge because the world's overpopulated. That's the true solution.
I like that one.
Hell yeah. Fucking A.
I like that one quite a bit, actually. Sorry, guys. This thing just itches
What
a
about
lot.
what's your take on the trolley
burned
problem?
myself.
Do I need to formulate it? So, the trolley problem is, say there's a guy on the edge of a cliff. That's up, and under the cliff is a train track. Now, if you push there's on the train track, there's 5 people tied up on the tracks. So, you have 2 options. You can let the train play out, which means those 5 people die, or you can push the fat person onto the tracks, which will kill him. You've made the moral action to kill him, but it'll save the 5 people because he'll block the train and the train will stop. So what do you do?
Do you kill one to save 5?
Yeah.
Is the simple boiled down question.
You would? I honestly would.
Sorry, but I would. Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't do it.
So I don't think I could.
Why 5
Wait,
people?
I would. No, I think I would like to.
Yeah.
I think.
I wouldn't even. Like
I think
it.
I think in my third person brain, I would save 5 people to kill one. But in my I have to live with it brain, could I live with I killed someone?
Yeah, you wouldn't feel moral.
So it would. Yeah.
I wouldn't even do it anyway because.
Why?
Well, here's the thing. Let's say there would be conditions where I might consider it. Let's say that everybody, let's say we live in a post-apocalyptic world, and the only tribe left is these group of people. There's 5 people on the tracks, some of them male, female, capable of reproducing. The fat person, well, not really going to be beneficial. Under those circumstances, I don't...
Talking shit about us fat asses.
I wasn't trying to do that.
I got
I'm
you.
just saying,
Keep on,
let's say the
keep
fat
on. I
is
get
a fat
you.
dude, and I can't fuck the fat
He's a
dude.
fat infertile
Yeah, fat-
fuck.
Yeah, he's a fat
He's
person.
infertile.
Yes.
He's no good
Yeah,
for
he's
the
no
trip.
good to society.
He eats up all their
So-
food and he gives them no babies.
Under the condition
Henry
that
the Eighth ass looking bitch ass.
Under the condition that
Don't
society
call me out
may
like that.
die off if I don't kill this fat son of a bitch, then I might consider killing him. Because then society...
Right, because it's a different
continues
kind
on.
of situation.
But otherwise...
But
I
if it
don't
was just in
see-
general 5 random people.
Yeah, because who knows what the fuck those 5 people are going to do one
At
day.
current
They could be
population.
fucking serial killers. They could shoot up
But
something,
you'll
they could be
always
horrible.
know that you killed someone.
Exactly. And you've made that moral choice. I didn't choose
Fucked
to
up,
kill...
though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't
Either
chosen...
way, it's
But
fucked
you're
up.
but you're still
5
you're still
died, 1
choosing
died.
I'm
to let the
letting-
5 people.
Yes,
no,
but I'm
you're
choosing not to kill someone.
Oh, but you're.
And
I don't know, but you're choosing to let 5 people die.
But it's not... But
It's still
not,
your fault.
It's not really.
They
though.
die,
That
or
way
if
for
you
all of
ki-
them to live.
But it's not...
No.
I don't know if that's...
Well, shit.
Can you... Because you'd have to make it... And I don't feel like if your activity doesn't cause their death directly, you're not really at fault.
But your non-activity causes. It's like
didn't
saying.
cause it,
It's
just
like
it
saying that the
prevented it.
people that were Germans, but didn't hide the Jews, like they were okay. They just went with it.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
they
yeah.
were not. They were
But they're
still
also
guilty.
not as bad as the Nazis.
But
but
they
I
were
understand.
still guilty.
But what if they had to choose to kill somebody?
Nazis' lives
to
don't
hide?
matter.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily
Nazis
saying not kill the Nazis.
supporters' lives don't matter.
But you're...
And Nazis
Let's-
who are silence about it
But
don't
we're
matter.
talking about killing
even
innocent,
though they're
presumed innocent people.
these are presumed innocent Jews.
No, I'm not.
You can't. What are you going to
no, I
single
know,
out every
but-
person in the Holocaust and look up their rap record and see
But I'm
what's
saying it's not
fucking
the
bad
same,
and
like,
whether or
you
not
say-
they deserve to die?
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're not... I'm not saying, like, choose to kill a Nazi or not. 'cause then you could
Inaction
say-
is a choice, though. But
Yeah.
inaction is a choice.
It is a choice, but it's also
Your
not
choice-
your direct fault.
No, it is your direct fault because you could have saved their lives.
Yes,
Even
at the
I
expense
mean, at
of
the expense of
actually physically
yes,
killing
it would have cost you and another person something, but 2 people could have paid
But
for
it
5
wasn't your-
people.
If you watch somebody being murdered, it's not the same thing as you participate in their murder. Which you would be if you actually push somebody onto the thing. That would be your direct immoral action causing it. And also, what is the benefit to society of more people living? Not necessarily that there is one. So you're saying that you're doing you're doing a moral math in your head. You're saying, why do...
Give that to Michael. You've hit it twice already. God damn it, Greg. He's bogarting. I'm trying to make
Whoa.
it. Goes to Michael. You can't hit
My
a
bad.
pipe 3 times.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Blunts are puff puff pass. Pipes are puff pass. It's a universal rule. Get in with the game, bro.
I don't smoke often. I'm not. I
Well,
don't
now you know the rules.
Yeah.
Stop breaking them.
Yeah.
Thank you for abiding by
Yeah,
the
these
rules
are
without being
you
told.
abide by these moral institutions.
Well, I didn't even have to tell him. He just knew.
I don't know.
He hit the blunt twice and then he passed it.
It
He
ain't a
hit this
big bowl,
once
I
and then he
know.
passed it. Well, I mean, any bowl. Honestly, I don't
Nah, if
know.
it's a big bowl, like
But-
my sister, my half sister, and her.
True, I've had like very rare. Okay, we're getting away off track. But
That's
yeah,
fine.
I know. I
Them
feel you.
bowls, you hit at least twice. You dead.
So,
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
pushing
so
it down for you. It's still your hit, Greg. I'm not taking your hit.
You can take it if you need to.
God damn.
So, Bogarted this whole shit.
You have bogarted it, you bitch.
Comfy
Oh,
Bogart this
God,
shit.
that motherfucker.
All right, so, all right, goddamn it, I'm losing the train of thought. Somebody
Bullshit,
pushed the
man.
fat man into the train of
Yeah,
my thought.
pushing the fat man.
Either way,
I mean,
it's
we were
fucked up. If
we were
you
talking.
let
Yeah,
five
either
people
way,
that
it's a
ran over, or you
lose-lose.
push the big homie
Either
down,
way, it's your
over.
decision. You chose someone to die. It was these people or it was this person. Either way, you chose someone to
I don't see
die.
the benefit from society to society.
I get
Why did we
that.
say that five? Why are we saying five consciousness is better than one?
Well, you couldn't
You're
choose
just doing math.
accurately unless you knew who the
how life
five
would
people
play
were
out.
on the tracks
Yeah.
versus who the fat
And
person
what
was
do we-
to stop it.
I mean, we're just doing a numbers game. I don't
I mean,
know.
if the fat person was a pedophile and the five people on the tracks were like school children, obviously I'm going to push the pedophile to save
What
the school
if
children.
here? Let's mix it
Like,
up. Let's mix it up. Let's say
The
we
fi-
know
the five people on the tracks
one.
were
Not all of
pedophiles.
them. Let's say one of them was a pedophile.
Mm.
I see. Now shit gets
I see
confusing,
where you're
right?
going
We're
with it.
mixing
If-
up. Shit gets
Okay,
fucking
and then
murky.
I mean,
You just say we don't know which one of these five.
But who
is a
is the
pedophile.
fat person?
One of them is. We don't know.
Me.
Let's say
well,
he's
no.
not.
If,
Well,
if I know who the
John
five people
Rawls.
are, even if I know that only one of them is a
Bill.
pedophile, and I know who the rest aren't, then I need to know if,
Yeah.
at least, if nothing else, if the fat person is or is not a pedophile.
I haven't brushed up on this.
Because
in a
would
while,
I kill
but-
one pedophile to save 4 non-pedophiles? Yeah, I might do
Well,
that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like, if the person I had to kill was not a pedophile, would I let 4 pedophiles die to save 2?
But what if they were really annoying kids? I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
Stop talking about my children, Greg.
Oh boy. Anyway, wait, shit. No, God damn it. Yeah, there's this guy named John Rawls. I can't remember. He had this veil of
Did you say John Rawls?
John
like
Rawls.
Oh, Rawls.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't
you
know.
said Rawls.
He has this
I thought you were
thing,
talking
this
Pocahontas
veil
a
of
second
judgment.
ago.
What the fuck is this thing?
Husband.
But he's
What
like,
the fuck
let's
is-
say you have a
that's
certain
pipe.
probability.
That's a pipe, Greg.
All right, fuck. I'm just gonna.
No,
Anyway,
I thought
fuck
you
it.
said, what the fuck is this thing talking about that?
This is not a pipe. You guys know about that? The treachery of images? This wouldn't apply
No.
here because I'm actually holding
I
it.
don't, actually.
The treachery of
She's
images.
cute. What's that? Is that you?
Oh, nice. That's pro.
Is that you?
Yeah.
I said she's cute. Hold on. Why do you look so pretty? Bring it back to my face.
I'm a bitch.
Oh wait, no, it's
Can-
your hoodie. I thought it was
I'm a
hair. I
bitch
just
now,
can't see very
that's
well.
crazy.
Well, you're pretty either way. I think you're beautiful.
Now I'm trying to remember that motherfuckers, that artists make Magritte. That's it, Rene Magritte. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, he has like a shirt and it says has a pipe on it, an image of a pipe, and it says this is not a pipe. You get it? It's trying to say it's just a
It's an
representation.
image, right? Okay,
But say
it's
this
not a
is
pipe.
But if I say this is not a pipe, it's like,
Oh, I mean, but it is. A
you're
pipe,
a
so then-
liar. This
Then
is a
you're
pipe.
just wrong.
Or is it?
I need my cigarettes, but I'm gonna put it back where you want it.
There we go.
Stop cursing into the philosophical discussion
Yeah.
video recording. I'm just
Is
kidding.
it?
We've
Let's
all been
debate.
cursing.
Is it okay to curse into the fucking microphone?
Is it okay to
Fuck
curse in
yeah.
front of children? Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes!
Yes.
We all agreed on
Well,
that, so
fucking-
we have to do like a unifying. All of
Uh,
us have to give him your other hand. There we go.
I
Unifying
don't know how this
five.
works. I
It's
don't
a unifying five,
Oh.
not a high.
Highfalutin.
Ooh. Stop it!
Crop circle.
Why
Alright.
Fucking
crop
say all
circle?
Speaking of this, here's the thing.
You can't just yell crop circle and like all of a sudden there's aliens. What
Or
are
is
you,
there?
Mel Gibson? You got my reference right.
I got
Thank
it.
you, baby.
I love
Did you
it.
get my
Signs.
reference? Yeah,
I
obviously.
got it.
It's a good movie.
He literally yelled crop circle and then he was like, "Oh no, there's actually aliens," just because Mel Gibson said it.
We should
I
talk
swear
about
to God.
what you kind of alluded to
Which one?
regarding is it okay to curse in front of kids? Here, but I don't not
They're
that
assholes,
specifically.
yes.
Not that specifically. It's
Hey,
when
wait,
people
hold on,
use-
just real quick before you dive into it. Could I say, because
Go.
I'm the only one with children,
Yes.
my philosophy on it?
Go ahead.
What's up?
I curse in front of my children
But they
as
know better.
much as I would curse in front of like anyone, and I say I'm an adult and I can talk how I want. You, however, are a child, and you can talk
Yeah.
like this in front of certain people, but not around mommy, and not around your grandparents, not at school, and not. I was like, it's all about knowing when to say it. So like when the kids used to come telling each other for like saying piss or bitch, I'd be like, you can literally just like fuck off with that because you're kids. You can say cuss words to each other. I don't care. Don't tell me about that. You like it's not in front of grown ups. I don't give a fuck what you're saying to each other. Call each other.
Mom.
If he's being a little pussy, you better call him that then.
Should the
Like-
standards? But let's
I just
go
think
deeper.
I just think like they should know that it's language, And all people have to moderate what and how they say things
Yeah.
depending on what audience they're in front of.
Well,
And so to me, it's a very simple way to teach children that, because it's just words to them, but like, oh, they're bad words. But I don't even tell them, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a bad word that you shouldn't say in front of certain people. But no, it's just a word. Like,
Yeah,
I've
that's
had
just
that
words.
conversation with them several times. Like, it's just a word. And that's why, like, I'm not going to freak out if you
Connotation.
say it. But, like, don't be coming up to me calling me a little bitch or anything, because then I might have to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not okay.
Let's go
You
to the
can't do
general-
that. But, like, I think that, like, they can say those words. I don't care how old they are.
But I don't mean
I just really-
specifically
they're just words.
cursing or cussing or whatever, but the general idea that do we live in a fuck up this word ruled? Goddamn, you know what I'm talking about.
Rural?
You style this. Anyway, our existence, is it based around like catering? Like, should we base it around what kids need or what adults need? The reason that's not the best
No,
way
I
to
see what you're
say
saying.
it.
No, I've heard that argument
No,
put
'cause
differently.
think of the kids. Think
Which
of the
is,
kids.
should you put your marriage with, or like your relationship with your spouse before your relationship with your children? And like, well, not even put that way. I should say, should you put should your spouse be at least equal to, if not more important than the attention that you give your children? And the whole point is, like, you can't give your children a good home and a good life if your relationship with their father or whatever their father figure is, your husband, like, you can't be good for them if you're not okay in your relationship.
Right.
Yeah,
And I get that, but I feel like it should be more like 50-50, maybe
Yeah.
60-40 at the most. I think
Rookie-
I don't think they should be like significantly more important. I just think
Yeah.
you shouldn't devote all your time to your kids and neglect your spouse. I think that's
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, you're getting more familial. I meant like more cultural. Like you were talking about cussing or cursing in front of kids. It's like, well, we need to modulate our behavior to think about kids. But then we also say we need to modulate the movies we watch. We have to fucking censor that shit. Think about the kids. You know, watch out
Oh,
these
you mean like
games,
the
think about the
FCC
kids.
with the cussing
Yeah.
on the radio, blurring
Yeah.
out words,
We have to
blurting out
change
words,
our
whatever.
behavior. But I feel like if we're bringing up kids to become adults, then shouldn't adult behavior be the standard? You know what I mean? Like, they have to adapt to us. We don't have to adapt to them. Do you know
So
what
I
I mean?
semi-agree with you.
Just
Yeah.
like
I have
It's a
I had a-
conversation.
back in like the early 2000s, back when they actually used to cuss on the radio on their songs and shit.
Yeah. We don't, because it
Well,
feels
Now
I
like...
they
have,
don't
I
do
have
that
mixed
no
feelings
more.
about what you're saying, because on the
Yeah.
one hand, I had what was quite a magical childhood, and I really appreciate like the magic and the
Yeah, yeah.
shelter of it that I had for the few, no, there were many, but the few years that I had of it that I can remember. I appreciate those years, and they're precious to me, and I
Yeah.
think all children should have like magic in their lives.
Yeah.
And that's why I do like Santa Claus, and Lydia's about to outgrow it like any time now. She's too fucking smart. Like, she's about to be 9. It's done. It's just about to be out the fucking window. I know. And then like Lavender, she just, once Lydia picks up on something, she's right behind her. Even if Lydia doesn't tell her, she's gonna like. So that's soon like not gonna be a thing for me. And then as soon as that goes, it's the Easter Bunny. Like, I lay out eggs in trails from their bedrooms to their baskets every year. I make a big deal of those things because they were made a big deal of for me when I was a kid. And like, I feel like kids deserve, to some extent, like a buffer, not necessarily a barrier.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why, like I talked to her about Donald Trump and the election,
Okay.
and like why I didn't like him. Talked to her about racism in general, or just bad people like pedophiles. Obviously, I had to have the conversation with her to keep her safe. Like, that's something that all little girls should know, that like bad people like that exist, and you can't just like get into strangers' cars. Like,
Yeah.
it's just part of the conversation. Like, so they need to know about things so that they can like not only be prepared for the real world when they're adults, but be prepared for the real world while they're children. It's important that they know those things to keep them safe as children. I think it's just a necessity, especially, I don't know, it's just so difficult
Yeah.
to like put it down to bite-sized nuggets that they can like listen to you and absorb.
Yeah.
Because if you go on about it too long, they forget everything that you said.
Yeah.
So like, you have to like boil down like racism and sexism and all of the awful things in the world. You have to boil them, and even like sometimes it's difficult with the wonderful things too, you know. And you have to boil them down to these little bite-sized nuggets that they can digest, and you can tell when you've gone on too long and they've trailed off. So then you have to remember, well, I have to bring this up and try again better, because once they trail off, they forget the whole thing. It's not even like, oh, they just trailed off at the end. It's like, oh no, there's all of it left. They're fucking children. I don't know. It's just hard to do it. But like, no, I think that absolutely they should be told about and educated on the way the world works, and then kind of eased into it as much as possible.
Also,
not kept from it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned
but kind
that
of kept from
makes
it.
me
Like,
think
at
also
least.
about, like you said, the magical nature of childhood. Makes me
Some
think.
children have no magic in their childhood, and that breaks my heart because I think every child deserves it. Because like my childhood was fucked in a lot of ways, but I got at least like a little bit out of it. That was really like that great thing.
Going back to mental schemes, the different options your mind thinks are possible. It almost seems like as a kid, those are much more broader. You know what I mean? Like all
you
of
can
a
do
sudden,
anything when you're a kid.
Yeah, all of a sudden those
Your entire
fucking
future is ahead
start
of
to
you.
thin out.
You feel immortal. It's like you have every year that could ever possibly be for the rest of your life. It's gonna take forever, and like you're gonna live to be 150 years old, and 150 is gonna take a long time to get to. And
Is that just idealism
you just
fading
think
away?
it's naivety. I mean, you're a child and you don't know any better.
Yeah.
You don't know how hard anything is to accomplish, or how much your brain will beat your own self down, or how much people in your life will pull you down with them. I mean, you just don't know, and like you trust people because you don't know any better. And then all those things happen, and
but people break
everything
their
that you
trust.
thought you were gonna do, you didn't do. I mean, oh my God, all the things that I would have accomplished if you'd asked me what I was gonna accomplish when I was 7.
See, they were all imaginary schemes, just like whatever you believe.
They're a
Santa
future that we
Claus,
planned
it's like
out that
it's-
couldn't possibly have ever actually happened.
It's just like a Santa Claus. You thought it had the possibility of existing, it never really did. It was not how life was going to play out.
Man,
Maybe we should just end it on that. What do you think?
I think that's a good
Anybody
spot to
have
stop it,
any
man.
post notes?
No, man.
Alright.
Fucking don't grow up.
Let's kill it on that cynical note.
Don't kill yourself either. I don't know. It's a
Where's the
lose-lose.
lip bar?